Yes,
I should have worn my coat and just put a skirt in Albuquerque. This is all a dance hall. It's all you can do. No,
unless they're any good.
There's no way anything strange or untoward can happen. But it does. We'll try one more time. People always think, if you look behind them, you'll see that there's captains, birds, and everything else. You've got one of these transmogrified relations, correct? Already? And I've got the other. If I put my piece behind you, surely you've got one. I've got the classic Irishman's cricket bat. I don't because you want
Good evening, Nail. How are
program alterations. The wireless play, which was supposed to have been on the 2nd of September.
Russia after his studies on the West. So shipbuilding is still a big industry in St. Petersburg. You can see shipyards on both banks of the river now. The Admiralty shipyard on that side. To the river, we were riding along the Neva River. It's the main river in our city. So very shortly we will get it so close to the North Pole. Now we returned to the Neva River, N-E-V-A. That is the spelling of the river, Neva. It was the home of the Romanov royal family. One of the city was that fortress on an island, which was built during the war with Sweden. Only thing, it never took part in any battles. Or animals with 2 heads, so animals with 6 limbs instead of 4. And he thought that the collection was so exciting, so years ago, not many people were interested in looking at those Siamese twins and parts of human body in jars. Peter the Great had to attract the visitors somehow, and he introduced a tradition. All the visitors who came to his favorite museum were treated with a glass of vodka. After studies in Britain, Peter the Great came here, he founded the Admiralty, and he was teaching the Russians how to build ships right here. You on your left, the Russian poet called it Bronze Horseman. So it's Peter the Great on the horse for the city during World War II. You know, the German army never occupied our city. It was then called Leningrad, but they besieged Leningrad. They were very close to the city center. The front line was only 10 miles from where we are now, south of here. So from that distance, they could easily...
We've taken and cats, French and Romanian.
And, well, I know that some of you have noticed already that pale yellow and beige are the traditional. And the trees, you can see another yellow facade with this beautiful spire in the center on the right. So this is Palace Square, and the turquoise and white building straight ahead of us, that's the Winter Palace, the front of the Winter Palace. Very traditional colors for Baroque style. So turquoise and blue and green is Baroque, yellow and white is classical. So the Winter Palace, right, which is opposite the Winter Palace, this horseshoe-shaped building, this is the former General Staff Headquarters, built in the early 1800s. It is still a military building.
This is the Aurora, that fired the first shot to start the Russian Revolution in 1917. Oh yeah, hell of a job fueling, weren't they?
Oh boy.
Take
4 sculptures, they're all different.
a palace where we're stopping for a reception with the English Speaking Union in St. Petersburg. It's just the right setting for you to make it.
Wonderful visit to this city by members of Sherlock Holmes British Society, and we're delighted to see you here, especially in your wonderful attires, and we felt great to be in the atmosphere of the time when Conan Doyle wrote his wonderful stories about the most popular character of British literature. For us, the 1st of September is a special day. It is the day of our school children and students, because this is a great event for the nation when our youngsters start to study the new school year. And it is very significant that, especially on this day, the members of the Sherlock Holmes Society came to our city, as Sherlock Holmes is, without any doubt, the most popular character of not only British but the world literature among our youngsters, especially. I have no doubt as well that our grown-ups never forget Sherlock Holmes, that they read and read Conan Doyle's stories. I consider this city as a window to Europe. And through this window, other doors, both culture, and especially European and British culture, came to the city and to this country. And in this respect, it is of great importance to us to maintain this context. So, and on my right, members of our society here in St. Petersburg. This is Yuri Techikov, who is Vice President of the English-speaking Union and of the board of our society, and Frida Naumova Zaitseva, who is a teacher of an English-speaking school and a very active member of our society here. British friends and colleagues to speak.
Union in St. Petersburg for their very warm welcome. I think I can safely say quite the warmest and most splendid welcome we've had during our cruise to date. Thank you, sir, very much indeed. It's a great honour to be in the splendid surroundings of the Sherlock Palace, clearly a building with tremendous history, and history is really a great deal of what we are about today. And in this sense, first of all, we're talking of anniversaries. The city of St. Petersburg, as we know, is nearing a very significant anniversary, 300 years. The Sherlock Holmes Society of London has already reached a significant anniversary, not as significant as that of St. Petersburg, only 50 years, but to us we regard that as a considerable milestone. So I think we can safely say two important anniversaries, both being celebrated in a sense today. have with us one or two little gifts. In the first instance, I have some medals, and they are our 50th anniversary medal. It would take too much time to pin them all on now, but I'm going to ask the Professor to accept one symbolically on behalf of his colleagues, and I will hand out others later. We also have a little flag here. It's a miniature of the bigger one, which most of you will have seen on the ship, but I'm happy to leave that as a little souvenir here at the English-Speaking Union. I hope it perhaps will be a talking point in times to come. So, I present you all the medal. I'm now going to ask Mr. Sherlock Holmes to speak briefly, and then you will hear from Dr. Watson. As all of you know, Dr. Watson is very well travelled, and
indeed to come across such support. This was a very great pity. It denied me the opportunity of visiting your university earlier. But I'm very glad to be here at last. This time in the capacity of a humble tourist. And I look forward to enjoying even more the delights of this so perfect city.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, it is now some years since I was last in this part of the world, and my Russian is a little rusty. However, having said that, господин, мэр, господин, важные гости, дамы и господа, от имени моего хорошего друга и коллеги, господина Шерлока Холмса, мне хотелось бы сказать, насколько мы, членами Лондонского общества Шерлока Холмса, рады быть с вами в великом городе Санкт-Петербурге. Зависка судебных дел Шерлока Холмса и мое первое приключение этюд в белом свете. Нам хотелось бы поблагодарить вам за ваше гостеприимство и теплое приветствие в ваш прекрасный город. Для многих из нас это является наш первый визит, и мы очень рады с вами познакомиться. Большое спасибо. Если у вас есть сложные криминальные проблемы, которыми вам нужно помочь, мы
Get your blessing that our Sherlock Holmes Society would be the most numerous in the world. And allow me to give floor to Professor Tretyakov, who is a professor of St. Petersburg State University and head of the Department of Foreign Languages of the Academy of Sciences in Petersburg, and he also is Vice Chairman of the English-Speaking Union of St. Petersburg.
Mr. President, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson, dear friends, I think that this is a really outstanding event. Not only are we receiving Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson and his but we hear them, or at least one of them, actually speaking Russian. This is, I mean, who would have thought this possible even a few years ago? I mean, this is something that is really very, very significant. It is my honor to welcome you here in this city, to welcome members of this venerable, I think is the right word, society, and to say just make a few short remarks. Ever since the publication of Sir Conan Doyle's first Sherlock Holmes stories, Sherlock Holmes has become part of Russian everyday life and Russian culture. And you can see everywhere, you can see by turning your heads and looking back at the books that you have seen lying on those stalls by the wall. As an avid reader of British classics, I am happy to say that the brilliant Russian translations of Conan Doyle's stories have made Sherlock Holmes known to virtually every single Russian. Conan Doyle's influence on the Russian language. One example is the famous phrase that Sherlock Holmes never said, "Elementary, Watson." This phrase has firmly become part of the treasury of Russian idiomatics. As a moviegoer, I will say that Sherlock Holmes is one of the most popular figures on the Russian movie screen, especially since Igor Maslenikov ingeniously combined Conan Doyle's plots with the St. Petersburg landscapes, producing a whole series of Russian Sherlock Holmes movies that are acclaimed, and this is my very firm opinion, to be among the best in the world.
Materials such as jade, mother pearls, turtle shell, amethyst, put on colored foil to make at first look, you can say that this man suffered from we are now in the third building of third building of the museum is the well-known mahogany and decorated with incense, which I can say is here. They have no person. Wait to see a fresco which provides architecture. Plus, a much better proportion and I don't want to make this wonderful thing. No experts in the world, either level, or 38, but I'm not really to know from the back. Then, man with beard or mustache could not be considered nearly to be perfect. So perfection, harmony was important for the artists of those days. We are meeting right here in 10 minutes. So you can go down.
Okay.